Hello, everyone. My name is Stephen Murray, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of The Gift of Giving. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this is the program that focuses on the nonprofits, 501c3s, and foundations right here in the state of Nevada. Should you be tuning in it and you don't live in this state, I hope you will stay and listen to what our guest has to say. You might be interested in starting a similar nonprofit in your own state. So, um, I would like to introduce our guest this week. She is Connie Myers. She's the founder of Crisis Knowledge Management and Preparedness Foundation, but she's also the founder of the Kits4Kids initiative, which we're going to be focusing on today.
Absolutely. Thank you so
So,
much for having me.
it's a pleasure having you here. And your organization is a little bit complicated, so we're going to show the video that you sent us, and it'll
Okay.
give people an idea of who you are and what your foundation actually does. Let's watch the video.
Hi, I'm Connie Myers. I am the CEO and founder of Crisis Knowledge Management and Preparedness Foundation. I spent 7 years as a FEMA inspector and trainer. I saw firsthand through the 50 disasters that I did around the U.S. and their territories how incredibly unprepared people are. My vision is to help 30 million people be better prepared. And I'm going to do that by helping kids. Our first initiative is called Kits4Kids. What we want to do is partner with people like yourselves that will help to provide Go Kits and put them in the hands of elementary school kids. With the idea being that if we have these little Go Kits in the bottom of their backpacks, not only will they be better protected, but just maybe will get the attention of the parents.
Okay, I think that gives a good oversight of what your organization actually does. But we are going to focus on the Kits for
Kids for
Kids,
Kids, yes.
because that's what you're really focusing your foundation on at this point in time. So let's when is this actually going to start? You haven't started it yet, correct?
Yeah, I've taken the last 2.5, almost 3 years to just kind of get all the infrastructure in place.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually doing our first soft launch with Opportunity Village on June 19th. So super excited about that.
Okay, and we'll discuss that later in the program because I think there's some more there that we'd like to get some information on for our viewers. But one thing that I found from your website is there's some alarming statistics which I think motivated you probably to start this program. 67% of kids are worried about their futures, which
Actually,
is alarming.
It just went up.
Oh, it's gone up?
Yes,
Yikes.
75% now.
And 76% of parents are worried about their kids. They're picking up on their fear and anxiety and depression.
Absolutely.
When you've got 3 out of 4 parents worried about their kids'
It's alarming.
emotional state, it's very alarming. And so your stated goal is to educate parents in preparedness and sustainability. How are you planning on doing that with the Kits4Kids?
Well, I was a FEMA inspector and trainer for 7 years, and I really wanted to find something that would protect the family overall.
Okay.
I started out by educating people, I was a master training program, and they became CKM advisors. And I was speaking at the National Natural Disaster Expo. And this woman, after I spoke, walked up to me and she said, "You need to be a 501c3 and you need to be working with kids."
Uh-huh.
So unfortunately, when a disaster happens, parents are just trying to get their life back together.
Yes.
And a lot of times they overlook what's really the traumatization of their kids and what's happening. And 50% of all kids, or actually anybody, end up with PTSD and requires counseling after a major disaster. Many times with kids, it went unnoticed. And once we have that PTSD, a lot of times it starts manifesting itself in other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with the idea of the kit. The kit is actually like a carrot to hang out in front of the kids and the parents to get their attention. And that way we get the kids involved. And that 75% is a good reason. So kids are worried about their futures. Is there going to be a planet? Am I going to get shot? Am I going to be bullied? Am I going to be harassed online? Am I going to be able to get a job?
Mhm.
So the kits are really designed to provide a basic safety net for the kids while they're at school, while at their playground, or while
Perfect.
activities. It gets velcroed into the bottom of
Yes.
the backpack, the everyday backpack. Then they also receive an emergency kit that's on the door that has all the proper things in it if something does happen.
Okay.
And if there's a disaster, the kit comes out of the everyday backpack and goes into their emergency kit. And it provides about
Perfect.
40% of what needs to go in.
Okay. We're going to talk in detail about the contents of the kits in the next segment. You mentioned FEMA and PTSD. There may be some viewers that are listening from outside the United States who don't necessarily know what FEMA is or PTSD. So if you could just explain for those
Absolutely.
viewers, FEMA.
PTSD is, we hear about it a lot in people coming back from wars.
Yes.
And we see it in our soldiers.
Yes.
And it really is a traumatization of your internal mindset to where you are not thinking like you would normally be thinking. It's a trauma. It's just trauma. FEMA is a federal emergency management agency. And whenever there is a presidentially declared disaster, that calls in FEMA. And they start working with infrastructure. Then they start providing assistance to individuals as well as cities and communities. So there's a federal agency.
Yes. I think in our state, fortunately, we don't have, touch wood, and thank God, we don't have the disasters that other states have. We don't have the floods, the hurricanes, the tornadoes that a lot of other states have.
But you know what? You do have the number one killer. The number one disaster killer right here in Nevada. More people die from heat than all the other disasters combined. And people don't look at that as a disaster, but it is.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't get called up. There have been times when they have called the presidentially declared disaster for heat, but most of the time it's not. But it is very serious and kills more people. So I hear that a lot, that, well, Nevada doesn't really have, we get an earthquake once in a while, we get a flash flood once in a while.
Yes.
But in reality, heat is by far the number one killer for of any of the disasters.
Wow, I think you've educated a lot of us just on that point alone, Connie. But I think your concept for people here in Nevada, I think would work very well for those other states that do have the physical things that kids see, the tornadoes, the hurricanes.
Absolutely. This is a pilot program here in Vegas. And I already have people waiting all across the country to bring it to their communities.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I hope they'll tune in and learn more about it.
Me too.
How do you plan on getting these backpacks and emergency kits to the kids? Have you reached out to the school district or school boards or?
I have reached out to lots of the kids clubs, like Boys and Girls Clubs, and that. We do have the mayor's office they're very supportive, and the lady Dr. Tammy Malish, who's the director for youth innovation and development, she's on the board of a couple of charter schools. So we're just getting off the ground. So I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, right? I want to make sure that when I do this, I do it right. So we've got the Opportunity Village. We're so blessed because they have a program called Kitting. And they actually are putting the kits together, and they're using their kids that are in their training programs to do it. So we have the kids actually putting the kits together. And so now I can say we've got kids helping kids. And there's nothing more powerful than that. The first recipients are going to be the kids that put the kits together. And it's a surprise. They don't know this.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah. So it's going to be, that's our soft launch that we're doing to show it off. Yeah.
Wow. What a nice positive note to end the first segment. Please stay with us, folks. We're going to be right back with Connie in the next few minutes. Please stay with us.
Budget deficits, national debt, presidential elections, government shutdowns, global conflicts in Europe, global conflicts in the Middle East, global pandemics, interest rates, rising inflation. Markets go up and markets go down for reasons nobody can control. Don't let the volatility of the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Your financial strategy can make all the difference. I'm Joshua Dowden. At Priority Wealth Partners, your goals are our goals. We believe people can live better lives with smart financial education and knowledge. We work closely with clients to match strategy with individual needs. Our personal financial strategies have helped investors accomplish their goals while reducing market volatility, and we can help you too. You've worked hard to get where you are now. Your financial plan should work hard for you in retirement. Conveniently located in downtown Summerlin, my name's Joshua Dowden. Call me today for a free consultation, 702-808-6513. That's 702-808-6513.
Welcome back, everyone, and I'd like to welcome back Connie Myers with the Kits4Kids initiative. And let's start talking about the contents. You've got the backpacks and you've got the emergency kits. So would you like to tell us what contents are actually in these emergency kits and backpacks?
This is actually what the kit looks like.
Oh my, that's compact.
And it gets Velcroed into the bottom of the kid's everyday backpack. So there's Velcro in it. There is a tracker that is satellite tracked from Risk Alert. They are a global alert company that alerts everything from terrorist attacks to abductions and weather. There's also, this is a brand new product. It's only been around for a couple of years, called Bleed Stop. And Bleed Stop is, it actually stops everything from a small cut to a large wound. It'll stop the bleeding. And then there's the usual safety stuff. There's a light, there's a whistle, there's a mask, there's an N95 mask. There is a sanitizer bottle. There's emergency numbers that includes the suicide number, which, by the way, suicide is now the #1 killer of young adults.
Yes.
And it also has like emergency numbers that they can put in. And then there's a fidget toy where I didn't know this. So the mayor, Dr. Malish told me about it. So I had one of the kids say, you need to have a fidget toy in it. I'm like, what's a fidget toy? And it's, I don't actually, this one doesn't have one in it, but it's a little square toy that you can squish. And it's kind of like, you know, the bubble wrap.
Yes.
How you pop the bubbles.
Yes.
And it's addictive. Well, I think this, Dr. Malish had like 8 of them on her desk. So that's included. And then we also would provide them with a backpack for their emergency kit. And it has a 7-in-1 tool. So it has the light and the whistle and the compass and the whole kit and caboodle in this one tool. And then we provide them with a list of what needs to go into the emergency kit. It gets hung on the back of the doorknob in their bedroom or on the door closet. And it also includes one of my books that is Be Prepared, Be Ready. And this is a reference guide that tells the parents what they need to have for all of their emergency kits, not just the Kits4Kids. So when there's a disaster, this comes out of the everyday backpack and goes into the emergency kit. And it gives the kids, depending on what they need in their emergency kit, between 35 and 40%. So it's almost all in this little packet.
Wow. That's an incredible packet. And so the books for the adults.
Yes.
That's like a guide to help their kids.
Yes, this goes through everything from all the different kits you need to have, to different types of disasters, how to be more sustainable. It has information on financial, what you need to have financially. And it's in its 3rd edition.
Oh, my.
So it's a perfect guide. If you want to give somebody, if they're moving into a new home, you want to give them a nice housewarming gift, or if you're a realtor, if you start out your listing presentation with, here's a gift for you, you're going to change the conversation and you're going to give them an invite. Wherever this kit goes through, it goes with like the manuals and stuff like that. So it's always handy, and it's something that should be looked at every year.
Absolutely. Boy, what a perfect tool. What a perfect tool. Now, what's the age range of kids for those emergency kits?
Okay, well, our ambassador program, we're focusing in on kids from 13, and I'll explain that later, 13 to 17. But this is any age group, kindergarten up. And it basically has all the same stuff. There's different instructions if they're younger. Our ambassador kids are going to be educating the younger kids, as well as, the most important, the adults.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the ambassador. Is this part of the kids spokesperson campaign
That's
that you're
correct,
having?
yeah.
Okay. And that was my next question. So we've morphed into it very nicely. How does the Kids Spokesperson campaign work? And how many ambassadors are you actually seeking?
Well, each city in Las Vegas, so Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson, we are going to have campaigns where we ask kids to submit a 1-minute video about why they want to be the Kits4Kids spokesperson campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going out, we're having the Rotary and other civic organizations and the other boys and girls clubs and stuff like, they'll help us to get the word out to kids about submitting their videos.
Okay.
So we'll pick a boy and a girl out of that group that are the chief ambassadors. But
Mhm.
now what do we have? We have an army of kids that have said they want to be involved. And
Mhm.
mental health people say the best way to overcome all those fears and anxieties is for kids to be involved, empowered, and become activists. So now they have a voice.
Mhm.
We're calling it Young Voices, Big Impact.
Mhm.
And those kids are they're going to be getting training. I've got people offering them Toastmasters and Rotary and other types of leadership training.
Mhm.
So we're not only helping them to educate and want to be prepared and be more sustainable, but we're also helping them become better leaders in their community.
Sure.
So that's kind of where we're headed right now. That's the next thing we're doing after we get this first soft launch done with it. So if anybody wants their kids, everybody tells me, well, I have a daughter or I have a granddaughter that would be perfect, or a grandson. I said, bring them on. Bring them on.
So you don't have any scholastic requirements to be an ambassador.
They have to have a B plus average. They have to have a B plus average.
But they don't have to have college degrees or anything like that.
13 to 17.
13 to 17, they're your ambassador age range that you're looking for.
Right.
Okay. And how many, well, you probably don't know.
We're hoping to have, somewhere between 10 and 20 per city. Mm-hmm. Now, smaller cities, obviously, maybe like North Las Vegas, we may not get that many.
Yes.
But we don't want it to be a huge number because we want to be able to give them the attention and the training and things that they need. But once somebody becomes an ambassador, they can bring in other people and that maybe are not ambassadors, but they want to participate and volunteer in the program. That there is no limit. We'll take on as many volunteers that we can possibly get.
Do you plan on the items for your emergency kit? Where do they actually come from? Do you have corporate sponsors giving the items for that, or
actually,
is it from financial donations and you go out and buy them?
Actually, the answer to that, both of them, is yes. Mm-hmm. The Risk Alert are providing the trackers for free. Bleed Stop is providing they provided us with 300 for free, and they want to see how the program goes. But after that, it's very inexpensive. So I'll be looking for a sponsor if they don't do that. Okay. We're looking for sponsors for the rest of it, but we did get a very nice donation I was able to buy the 300 kits with.
Oh, nice.
And we are applying for grants. Good. So we've actually, hopefully, keep our fingers crossed, we applied with the Golden Knights. And what we're doing is fitting perfectly with what they do. So anybody has any influence with the Golden Knights, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, well, let me know too.
Okay.
Now, will the kids have to buy these, or the parents have to buy the kits?
They don't have to, but if they want to, they're going to be for sale. Mm-hmm. And the Go Kit itself sells for $25. Mm-hmm. And if you buy the two together, the emergency kit and it's $60.
Okay.
And they're going to be available on our website. Okay. If you make a donation, right now we have a program where if you make a donation of $25 to the nonprofit and let us know, send us the copy of the receipt, then we will send you a kit.
Okay. And do you have a special? Is there a means test or something if there's somebody that's living below the poverty line or something like that?
Well, we're looking for sponsors to donate for those, and I have a lot of people that have said yes. I've put them off a little bit just because I wanted to make sure that this pilot program on June 19th, yes. I've got all my little ducks in a row because I have been told it's going to go viral, and so I want to make sure that we have everything in place to make it a success, so it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, on that note of it possibly going viral, We're going to take another brief sponsorship break while we can ponder this program and initiative going viral. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at PacificCoastCap.com.
Country roads take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Comes a triple yodel. Adi-yodel-ay, da-loo-dee-oh, da-loo-dee-oh, oh-oh-wee.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the program, and welcome back, Connie Myers. Thank you for being with us today and sharing with us your Kits4Kids initiative that's going to be launching.
Thank you for having
You're
me.
having your soft launch tomorrow.
Yes.
So we wish you well for that. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have any, depending on how this goes, do you have any plans to take this national down the road?
Yes. I have
Yes.
people waiting for me to take it to California, to Florida, to the Midwest, to Colorado, to Oregon, Washington. I have people in probably 40 states that have said that, okay, when you're
Wonderful.
ready, bring it here. So it's going to become a very solid program. And I think we're really going to make a big difference in not just changing kids' lives,
Mhm.
but also making the awareness for adults to understand how important this is and how important it is to understand what happens. And it doesn't have to be a natural disaster. We have all kinds of crises and disasters that happen in our lives.
Mhm.
What this is all about is making people aware. So we're bringing in other nonprofits that have messages to help kids that also will help adults.
Mhm.
And I'm collaborating. I've got several of them that I'm collaborating with right now that will help us to get the word out and make
Cool.
a difference.
Well, hopefully you'll share this program with all those people in the 40 states and
You bet.
get it off the ground. Have you had any support from local, state, or federal government at all? Have you?
I have
applied
not
to them,
reached
or you've not
out
reached
to
out
the
to them
federal government. I know some people in FEMA, but right now with the atmosphere right now, I've decided to stay away from it. I do have great support from the mayor's office,
Mhm.
and I did talk to somebody in the state office. I have only had a couple conversations, but they seem very supportive.
Mhm.
But we're getting great cooperation from the mayor's office, and this is a community-based program.
Mhm.
It's a grassroots. So I'm really looking for those grassroots people that in the government.
Oh, good. And now, do you plan on having, obviously, because you're still in the real grassroots stage, are you hoping that it's going to be manned totally by volunteers and ambassadors, or do you foresee having to
Well,
hire
right now
paid
it is
staff?
all volunteer. I have over 50 people that are part of my board of directors as well as my advisory council from all around the
Mhm.
country. But we are going to reach the point where we're going to have staff. And like Michael's working really hard on the grant writing programs and stuff like that. So we're looking for lots of volunteers, and I see it as having somebody in the different communities that might be on some kind of a
Yes.
staff
Mhm.
way rather than a volunteer.
Down the
Although
road.
I know lots of people that want to volunteer, so
Yeah, well, that's
maybe not.
great. And what volunteer opportunities are there apart from the ambassador, 13 to 17? If you're looking for adults to volunteer, or how can the community
100%.
get involved? Other than the
100%. We are
ambassadorship.
looking for people in the community, adults in the community, that their heart is about protecting our kids. And the one thing we can all agree on is we want to protect our kids.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
and so we're looking for volunteers to be a part of this program.
Mhm.
And to be honest with you, when I have told people about this program, the first thing out of their mouth is, how can I be involved? So if you
Nice.
want to be involved in something that's really exciting, that's really going to change the world from the kid level up,
Mhm.
then please reach out and let us know, because I'm going to be looking for as many volunteers as I can get.
Yes, great. Now, how do you get funding right now? You said you haven't got anything from the federal government. I know you've got support from the mayor's office, but the actual funding, uh,
Well,
is
up
it
until
corporate
a
donors?
short time, corporate donors.
Got some
We're definitely
already?
looking for sponsorships, especially
Mhm.
locally sponsorships. I've actually talked to the Review Journal. I've talked to a couple of banks. They're all interested in seeing what we're doing.
Mhm.
And that's part of the reason we're doing the soft launch at Opportunity Village, because I want to use that as saying, okay, this is what we're doing, and this is what this is all about. And we put together a video that's called a recipients video,
Mhm.
where we have kids that I've given the kits out to, and we have first responders, we have parents and teachers. One of the people on my local team, I have a team of 7 here locally that's helping me get this off the ground. And one of them is a school teacher, and she's 7th grade. And I'm like, she says, this is absolutely perfect for my age bracket.
Mhm.
So we have a small group now, but anybody that wants to volunteer and be a part of it, please, please, please reach out, because it's going to be a very exciting, fun thing.
Well, we're going to give out your information in a few moments, but you mentioned your soft launch and Opportunity Village. Would you like to give us a little bit more information about that? Is it actually going to be held at Opportunity Village? Is it open to the public? Do they have to sign up?
Yes,
Is there a fee?
it
Give us
is.
some more
There
information
will
about
not-
that, if you will, please.
There won't be a fee. Yes, it's going to be at Opportunity Village at their southern office. I forget the name of the street, but we can put that on the website. And it will be open to the public. Anybody that does want to, please reach out to me to let me know if you want to attend, and you'll get my information here shortly. But so we know how many. But anybody that thinks they might want to be a part of this, I would encourage them to come and check it out, what we're going to be doing. I'm going to bring a couple boxes of tissues, just saying.
And you said now the kids at Opportunity Village, they're actually going to be putting these kits together.
Yes. Isn't that incredible?
That-
I mean, so their whole program, and they do this kitting stuff
Uh-huh.
all over the world. My son was in Geneva with Switzerland, and he said they got the hangers that hang for Columbia Sportswear, the hangers they use to hang the clothes,
Uh-huh.
they got from Opportunity Village.
Wow.
And so they have this whole wonderful program where they teach kids life skills and job skills and give them a future.
Mhm.
So I'm thrilled to be a part of that. We also have a young man. His name is Justin. He's 9 years old, and he has a nonprofit called Heroes and Hearts. And Dr. Malish told me, she says, if you get Justin involved, she says, you'll have media wherever you go. So
Wow.
he and his mom become best friends.
Oh, there you go.
I'm using every angle I can.
Absolutely. Well, why not? Why not? You unfortunately you have to these days. So, would you like to give out the information of Kits4Kids?
Yes.
And give out your website and email information.
Yes,
Share with your viewers.
the website address is bepreparedbeready.org. There is a contact form on there that you can reach out to me, or I'll be more than happy. Here's my email address. Now, when I was younger, I changed how I spelled my first name. So it's CONIMEYERS at bepreparedbeready.org. Please reach out. I'll be more than happy to support you. Or I'm looking for collaboration. I'm working with people. So, and again, June 19th is the date. I don't have the specific time yet, but it'll be on the website. And if you're interested, just reach out and I'll make sure you get the information.
Thank you very much for sharing that information, Connie. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing information about your Kits4Kids
Thank you
Kids for
so
Kids
much for having
initiative.
me.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, and I wish you every success with this new challenge and opportunity that you're having, and hopefully it will spread. I should say like wildfire, but not literally wildfire.
Yeah, we
but
have some
hope it-
training for
hope-
that too.
Yes. Hopefully it will spread across the nation.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'd like to thank you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you'd like to get involved with this organization or know of anybody who would like to be an ambassador or volunteer or donate, please share this interview with them and help us spread the word about this wonderful organization. I'd also like to thank John Stiles, the producer of this program and station owner of WWDBTV. Without him, we wouldn't have a program at all. Nor would we have a program without our sponsors. I'd like to thank Pacific Coast Capital, Priority Wealth Partners, the Firelight Barn, and RJ Champion. You'll hear his message at the end of this program. And also Friends of the Gift of Giving. These are the anonymous donors that help keep our program on the air. And I thank them all with all my heart for being so supportive. And once again, I'd like to thank the viewers. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me, Stephen at thegiftofgiving.vegas. I'd certainly love to hear from you. In the meantime, I hope you'll join us next week. If not, please stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Mr. RJ Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.